What is up, everybody? This your man Dre Mag coming to you again with another video. Of course, I'm live. I want to talk about James Gunn. James Gunn kills the DCEU. There's a lot of changes: cancellation of Wonder Woman 3, cancellation to the new Black Adam project. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things in the Hollywood Reporter. So, of course, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get to it or whatever. Tell me what you guys think about this. As we comment, but the real question is,
Are you ready?
all right, so let's go ahead. Let's get this show started. Let me go ahead and make sure to share my screen real quick. Because I want to talk about this. I think this is going to be something that we can most definitely um let's see, share my second screen here. So again, James Gunn has basically put his stamp on the DCEU and made it in this image. So let me kind of make this a little bit bigger right quick. And this is from the Hollywood Reporter. It said James Gunn says DC's plans to a plan will build upon what has worked and rectify what hasn't worked. And we all kind of know exactly what's going on as far as DC. Um, I want to make sure that. Oh yeah, shout out to my man Chillmonger. Chillmonger is in the house. What's going on to him? Shout out to Derpy 501 or I think I said that 501. I messed that all up. It's early in the morning. Shout out to you guys. Let me get to this comment real quick. He said, hoping for a legit story, 10-year plan, hoping it becomes similar to the MCU, but not afraid to take risks. So what I'm going to talk about, guys. So let me talk about like this here. What hasn't worked for DC is that it was too busy trying to be Marvel in some instances, in some instances, was being his own thing. And I think that's the big problem when you're looking at what DC failed at. DC failed at not being able to have its own identity, even though it has its own identity. So, in the Hollywood Reporter said James Gunn has responded to the story published by the Hollywood Reporter addressing the future of DC Studios ahead of the presentation next week, which he and partner Peter Safran will share their vision on Warner Brothers Discovery boss David Salev. I think I'm messing all that up. So, as far as the story yesterday in the Hollywood Reporter, some of it's true, some of it's half true, some of it's not true. Some of it we haven't decided yet whether it's true or not. Gunn wrote on Twitter on Thursday. Although the first month of DC has been fruitful, building the next 10 years of storytelling or stories takes time, and we're just in the beginning. Now, I want to kind of give my thoughts on this because they bring up Wonder Woman 3. And I'm not gonna read all of this, but I don't know if y'all watch Wonder Woman 3, but Wonder Woman 3 was terrible. Like Wonder Woman 2, I'm sorry, Wonder Woman 1984. Wonder Woman 1984 was a terrible movie because it was trying to be too much of an like a 80s aesthetic nostalgia and trying to put modern, I guess, modern spin or technology to it, and it absolutely didn't work. With Wonder Woman, the original movie was fine. Some of the writing was bad, like towards the end and the climax, but the actual movie wasn't bad at all, and it gave us a little bit of hope of what Zack Snyder and DC and these other figureheads and Patty Jenkins could be able to do with the project. So she totally dropped the ball on a terrible movie. And if you think that movie is good, well, hey man, that's good for you. The movie was terrible. It didn't make any waves in the box office. It got demolished, you know what I'm saying, as far as money that they bring it into the studio. It just wasn't a good project. I know they talk about Black Adam and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and let's be real. I liked Black Adam because it was fun. It was just a fun movie 10 and 15 years ago. Like all the dated references and all the annoying stuff that the kid was doing in the movie. The brother was funny, but you still have a MacGuffin of a plot point, and you still got to go basically rescue the princess, or unless she's fridged in the movie. And it just didn't have a feel of like a major box office blockbuster, like something that, like, oh my god, I've never seen that before. So as it was okay. It wasn't on a level of like Venom, Let There Be Carnage, where it's just getting too wacky, or Thor: Love and Thunder, when you have no creative direction. You're just taking the character and going this way. It just wasn't enough to be able to grab someone. So I'm not mad at James Gunn coming in and say, you know what, this is not what we want. This is not exactly what we want. You know what I mean? We want to be able to build this in our own image. And one example of that was the Suicide Squad that was directed and produced by James Gunn, and Peacemaker. And Peacemaker was one of the best things DC point blank period had. That movie, I mean, that show was amazing. Great character art, great story. You got invested in the character, good writing. You understood this episode moved to this episode. It was some of the best things that they done. So I actually can see the vision of what James Gunn can do in the DCEU, or the DCU now. Uh, uh, I also see why fans are taken aback. So let me get to this comment real quick. From Derpy real quick. I think I just missed this. He said last night's news hearing that they were making Batman Beyond film. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't reveal it to the public. DC fans would have got behind that, but let's hope James Gunn would do it down. Okay, so I did read that. I was looking at I was on Twitter when I was at work, when I had a little time at work. Because trust me, I'm literally work like 6 days a week right now. But I did hear that Batman Beyond was going to be the next film, that was going to be Michael Keaton's film, another basically Batman 3, but Batman Beyond, and that got shot down. And yeah, we would have got behind that. But I would say if they did Crisis on Infinite Earth and reset this whole entire, matter of fact, you got to get this Flash movie out and get rid of Ezra Miller and all the crap that came with him. You got to be able to have people who really are invested in these particular movies. So is Robert Pattinson going to be invested in this? Is there going to have one cohesive unit in this? It has to be I want to say it got to be cohesive. It got to be, everybody got to be behind the vision that you set. And if Gal Gadot is not a part of that vision, go ahead and let her go now. You know, if I believe Henry Cavill is, I believe he's going to be your Superman. I don't think in no shape, realm, or form that DC is actually going to get rid of Henry Cavill just now getting the bag. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, expendable. He's not a part of that universe. Let's be real. You know what I mean? And then he had an opportunity to put out a film that didn't do that well. It didn't compete, especially as a summer blockbuster. So there's a lot of things that you have to look at. And James Gunn is excellent at what he does as far as making movies and creating stories. He took Guardians of the Galaxy, which was literally, let's keep it real. You got X-Men, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Batman, all these other places. What was Guardians of the Galaxy in that realm of top tier comic book characters that you went out and read? None. Let's keep it real. So James Gunn was able to take, the Guardians of the Galaxy, which was kind of obscure characters and stuff like that, and make you believe and enjoy the characters and get invested behind there. So I believe James Gunn can be able to do that. Now you have a lot of Zack Snyder fans that are completely pissed off right now because they're not going to get their Snyderverse. And I get that. The Snyder cut, as long as it was still better than the theatrical version. But it was still long with a lot of slow motion scenes that didn't make sense. You know what I mean? So let me go into this. Chillmonger, wait a minute. I think I'm missing some comments. My bad. The line in the DC. Wait a minute. I think I got this one. I don't think they'll ever watch Black Adam because an executive only made the film because, hey, I have an idea. Let's make a superhero film. And The Rock, like, yeah, make us some money, book it, people will see it. And I do believe that Rock did have some love for the actual character especially a person of character getting on film. I believe he did have that. What it was like, what doomed that movie, it was a recycled of something that came out like 15 years ago. Like you could literally put that movie with the first Captain America, the first Iron Man, and it would have killed DC. I mean, not killed, but it would have elevated DC on the lines of Marvel. But when you do that story the way that they did it with the creative decisions that they made and different things like that, I don't think it would have worked in this day and age. We're too sophisticated as moviegoers, and especially the ones that are invested in comic book characters. Now, I'm not a big DC guy, but I want to see DC win. I want to see DC win with Batman. I want to see DC win with Superman. I want to see DC win with Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying? And other characters that elevate them. I don't want to just have a monopoly over them at Marvel. Let me care about these characters. But one thing DC has never done, besides with Batman stories, is make me really care about these super guys that's supposed to be living on Earth with humans. They never, and I'm saying the newer comics never grab me like that. I'm a big Batman guy, so I'll go grab a Batman comic like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the Three Jokers and stories like that. But as far as like getting me invested in Superman, no. And you have to be able to write this character where I'm able to get behind him and actually see his failure all the way up to his triumph. So that's kind of how I feel as far as that. And hopefully they will be able to elevate these characters. And I believe in James Gunn. I really do. I just didn't believe that The Rock. I think The Rock wanted to come in and be like James Gunn and be like Peter Safran. You already missed that boat, buddy. If you wanted to be a part of that, you should have been there in the first place. So, let me see. My man Jerome Banks. Black Adam was okay, but not as good as I thought it was gonna be. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. Graphics were great though. Now they did have some great fatalities though. They need to take what they did in Black Adam and move it to a Mortal Kombat movie because their fatalities was awesome. Chillmonger said Superman can be the only one to retain his memories. Yeah, keep that Superman. Keep that. Now, what would you guys think? Make sure you guys comment. Put it in the comment section. What do you guys think? How should DC redo it? Should they flashpoint it? Should they do Crisis on Infinite Earths? But if they do Crisis on Infinite Earth, it'd be too close to what they're doing in Secret Wars, which I believe, and I did a video on this, and I want you guys to check it out, that Franklin Richards to reset the whole MCU, recast the real T'Challa, shout out to Chillmonger, you know what I'm saying, recast T'Challa, reset the whole entire thing so we can start all over new. All of that happened. We knew that happened. This is a new universe with new people, new characters. X-Men is there, Fantastic Four, all of that, and start all the way over again, especially with an adult T'Challa. But yeah, Chillmonger, I agree with you. Superman can be the only one to retain his memory. I think the Flash movie, if they cared would delay it, write it to where it's completely Flashpoint, kill Ezra Miller's Flash off, then maybe be able to write where you could keep some of the actors. And the crazy part about it, and I agree with you, but the crazy part about it is that they already made all that. They already made that movie. So I don't believe that they're going to go back and touch any more of what has already been done. And I honestly believe that that's going to be a flop. I'm sorry. I think that's going to be a flop. Dirk, what you say? He said, I don't think nobody else but James Gunn could be our Kevin Feige. The only person I would say that could be that for DC is maybe Paul Dini, but he's too old. So I think James Gunn is the right choice. To me, I believe for what he did with the Suicide Squad. Okay, I see what you're talking about. This is why I have so much faith in James Gunn. Number one, the reason why I have faith in James Gunn is because of how he took that Suicide Squad. Like, I mean, not the Suicide. Wait, he did that too. That was good. Suicide Squad was surprised. The Suicide Squad was surprisingly good. And I wasn't surprised because it's James Gunn. What got me was Peacemaker. Would I ever think that you can take John Cena, the person that I can't see on my TV, and make me care? I hated John Cena. I'm a wrestling fan. I hated John Cena because he was just too goody two shoe, never would go, turn heel, all this stuff. I'm like, yo, I can't. I'm not about to do it. And then James Gunn took him in all this emotional range and the story and then all these particular things and made it funny or made me care about like alien, what was they, moths or praying mantis or whatever. Man, it was amazing. It was amazing. So I believe that. Now, if they do Flashpoint, and I do agree with you, kill off Ezra Miller. Get that dude up out of here. Matter of fact, reset that thing, let him die at the end. Whatever you do, you gotta, I'm sorry, you gotta reboot this franchise. You gotta get the rest of the movies that you got out, Shazam 2 or whatever, do a Flashpoint, reset this whole entire thing. I believe can't think of the actor's name. Zach Levi could come back as Shazam. I like him as Shazam. I think Shazam was a very underrated, very good movie for DC. You can go ahead and get rid of Black Adam. Unless you're gonna bring, I'm not saying get rid of Black Adam, but bring Black Adam in just to be the antagonist of Shazam in a future Shazam movie. After Flashpoint, keep Superman, keep Robert Pattinson as Batman, and do your own thing. I feel like they should have reign. If the movies were really that good, then we wouldn't even need James Gunn if they were that good. So I believe totally take out everybody. Let's reset the whole entire thing and let's just do it. My man, 2015 Roman Reigns made me appreciate John Cena. Don't do my dude like that with the suffering succotash. Because I know where you're coming. I know exactly where you went on that one. Oh man, even The Rock couldn't save him. And what was that? Survivor Series? Or was that that was Survivor? I think it was Survivor. No, it was the Royal Rumble. Couldn't save him on the Royal Rumble. Yo, that's hilarious, bro. I want the tone and setting of the 90s and 2000 DC animation area. That was the closest to legit Connect Universe. I don't know why they don't use the storyboards as I 1000% agree with you. One thing I can say about DC, what DC was killing Marvel on was the cartoon side. DC made some of the best animated films. I mean, golly, their Flashpoint is good. So you know what I mean? You can do it, and actually take it. Let's keep it real. DC Studios DC Animation did Flashpoint, reset their universe. It created that whole new aesthetic. So it's not like it can't be done in the main in the live action films. And yes, they should take cues from DC Animation. People didn't care about the movies in DC side, but care about the animated movies, right? And on the flip side, with Marvel, we cared about the movies because, again, they spread them out. We got invested in this movie. They were spread out. It wasn't oversaturated. We didn't really care about what they was doing on the cartoon side. Give me, Civil War and give me these movies. Give me that movie. So yeah, I completely agree with you. So let me just read this, and then I'm kind of going to let you guys go. Because I want to just wrap this up, and I got to get a haircut, and I got to go to sleep because I got to be right back. I am literally like the Jamaicans on on Living Color. Hey man, got to go to work. Got to go to work. So it says Peter and I. And this is halfway down. Matter of fact, let me bring back the screen real quick. And let's go here. It said Peter and I chose to helm DC Studios, knowing we were coming into a fractious environment, both in stories being told and in the audience itself. And there will be an avoidable transitional period as we move into telling a cohesive story across the film, TV, animation, and gaming. Gunn continued on Twitter, but in the end, the drawbacks of that transitional period were dwarfed by the creative possibilities and the opportunity to build upon what has worked in DC so far and to help rectify what has not. We know we're not going to make every single person happy every step of the way, but we can't promise everything that we do is done in the service of the story and the service of the DC characters we know you cherish and we have cherished our whole life. And I'm gonna give him props by saying the DC characters. Listen to James Gunn, Nate Moore. You have to care about the characters because the characters are bigger than the actors. Nate Moore, if you're watching this, you're probably never going to watch this and never heard of me. But Nate Moore, the characters are even greater than the actors portraying them. The actors bringing them life, but it's the characters that we get invested in. So yeah. So he's Derp said, that's what DC fans want to see, the legit area animation put on screen. BTAS, Justice League Unlighted, Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series. No, yeah, Superman the animated series. I'm looking at your your jargon. Not hard. DC, they want a universe like that, and absolutely, I agree with you. Give me a Batman animated series type of feel in the movies, and you got me. And that's why I like the Batman, even though the Batman should have been about 20 minutes shorter. Batman was good because I want my Batman to be a detective. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my Batman just beating up on people. This is not Arkham City. You know what I'm saying? This is Detective Comics. Let him be a detective. So let me see. He said, and this goes on to say, James Gunn, who directed the Suicide Squad for DC and Warner Brothers, as well as created the HBO series Peacemaker, began his job as co-chair and co-CEO of DC Studios on November 1st. And as more answers about the future of the DCU, I will sadly have to ask you to wait. We are giving these characters a story, the time and attention they deserve, and we ourselves still have a lot more questions to ask and answer. And what he's doing, he's seeing right now what has kind of failed in the MCU. And what I mean by has failed is spreading yourself out and giving some time for it to breathe and let it be organic. And you have to let these things be organic. If you're not allowing the story to be organic, if you're not allowing these characters, you're giving them time to be able to breathe and to be able to care about them. When we watch the movie, to watch the story, and the stories are so good that we're so invested in these stories that we can't help but watch and be in awe and watch the progression of these characters, then why are we even here? And that's the problem that I have with a lot of fans and the casual fans. The casual fans have to understand that these are superheroes that come directly from comic books. And in those comic books, there's a progression of a story that we get invested in. And that's why we care about these characters so much. And if James Gunn doesn't learn anything from Marvel, he needs to learn that these characters, we care about them, so they have to have time to breathe. You don't just slap them on it's not, even though it's a product to sell, it's quality over quantity. And I believe that's exactly what James Gunn has learned from Kevin Feige, has learned from Nate Moore and the other executives at Marvel Studios, and he could take that over to DC and make something magical, man. It's kind of like I want the Monday Night Wars, except for Marvel in DC. Instead of it being the Monday Night Wars with WCW and WWE, I want the war between when back in the day when you went out and you had a choice, man. You buying DC or Marvel today. You know what I mean? Because the stories like in the 90s, the 80s and the 90s were so good. You know what I'm saying? When Frank Miller was writing Batman, and then and on the Marvel side, you had like Christopher Priest writing Black Panther, and you had oh God, who was writing the X-Men? Chris Claremont writing the I'm telling you, man, I want those because as a fan, I can't do nothing but embrace it and love it. So let me get to these last couple ones, and I'm gonna let you last couple of things, and I'm gonna let you go with Deathstroke, not Joker as a villain. Let me see. I know the first two films of the DCU should be Batman and Superman. They should do what Marvel did. How they started off with Iron Man and how Iron Man was the catalyst for 10 years. Let Henry Cavill be your catalyst for the next 10 years. I agree with you. Let him be the catalyst. Bring on your Batman. Bring on your new Wonder Woman. And grow with that Trinity, kind of like what they did with Iron Man, Thor. As far as the movies, it was Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America. Am I missing one? Am I missing one? I think I'm missing one. Chris Cameron better have an X-Men every yes. And if I was to make, and Chillmonger, I agree with you. If I was to make Superman film, I would mostly base on the 40s cartoon, but with the tone of the 70s and 90s cartoon. I could see that. Oh yeah, Hulk. Duh. And let's not forget, it started with the original Hulk, the Hulk movie that he was fighting gigantic mutant dinosaur dogs, and then it went to Incredible Hulk. People don't know that that's Incredible Hulk is a sequel to the Hulk movie. But anyway, what did you guys think? I know some of these guys who didn't. I know if you're rewatching this, you're part of the replay gang. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man E-Man because I know he coined the replay gang. But if you're watching this, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you put in the comment section what you guys think about James Gunn. James Gunn killed the DCEU. And for me, like my man Deadpool, I absolutely love it. So tell me what you guys think. You know what I'm saying? Tell me if that's something that you guys want to see. Derpy, I'm trying to get to your last comment. It said you didn't get how I would do a Batman. Okay, let's oh, did I miss it? Where did I miss it at? Oh, okay, my bad. Let me get to that, bro. If I was to make a Batman film for DCU, it would be basically the plot of the first Arkham game, but with Robin, Barbara Gordon, and someone the key plot, kind of like what they did on Titan season 2. Is that what you're talking about? Because I think they kind of did that with the Barbara Gordon and what's it called? Thank you. I'm on IG too, so I'm an IG fan. Thank you, Fia. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. But yeah, I believe you're talking. Well, they kind of did it, but Titans kind of is like, that's one of those ones you need to throw in the scrap heap. Yeah, but yeah, I get you with Death Stroke, and they kind of did that in season 2, but then they did the Red Hood storyline or whatever. But yeah. I get what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. But let me get up out of here, man. I got stuff that I gotta do, and I gotta get up out of here. But again, thank you guys for checking out this live with me. Normally it's a little later for me to do a live. Normally I try to do my lives at 6 to 7 Central Time, so that's 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So what did you guys think? Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. Tell me what you guys think. Put in the comment section. And again, I appreciate everybody who came in. Chillmonger, man, I can't wait to talk to you and be on your show here on Saturday. My man Derp, thank you for you contributing into the conversation. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe high. Let's get up out of here.